A long, long time ago, in the serene forests of ancient India, the great sage Dalbhya Rishi approached the venerable Palastya Muni with a question that echoes through the ages. He sat before the wise sage, surrounded by other rishis near a sacred fire, and asked, "O purest of personalities, when a soul enters this material world, it immediately begins to perform sinful acts. It might steal, lie, or harm others. Kindly inform me how such sinners may escape the punishment they deserve, even if they give only a small amount in charity." Pulastya Muni, his face glowing with a divine light, smiled. "O fortunate one," he began, "you have asked an important and confidential question. Listen closely, for I will reveal the sacred process that can wash away even the most grievous sins. This is the secret of Sat-Tila Ekadasi," he continued, explaining that with the arrival of the month of Magha, one should purify themselves. They should bathe, control their senses, and meditate on the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. On the day of Sat-Tila Ekadasi, a special ritual is performed. First, one must gather fresh cow dung and mix it with sesame seeds and cotton. From this mixture, 108 small balls are carefully rolled. This act itself is a form of meditation and devotion. After bathing on the morning of Ekadasi, the devotee should worship the Supreme Lord. They should chant his holy names and offer incense, sandalwood paste, camphor, and delicious food preparations. Then, staying awake throughout the night, they must perform a sacred fire sacrifice, a homa, into this blazing fire. The 108 balls of cow dung and sesame are offered, one by one, while chanting the sacred Purusha Sukta and other holy mantras. The devotee also offers the Lord gifts of pumpkin, coconut, or guava, praying, "O Lord Sri Krishna, Janardana, you are the most merciful personality. You are the savior of fallen souls. Please be kind to us and accept our humble obeisances and these simple offerings." The next day, one should honor a qualified Brahmin, a learned priest. They should be gifted a water pot, an umbrella, shoes, and clothing. It is said that gifting a black cow on this day is especially powerful, as it helps the devotee cross the ocean of material existence. To illustrate the power of this Ekadasi, Lord Krishna himself once told a story to the celestial sage Narada Muni. In ancient times, there lived a very devout but miserly old Brahmani. She worshipped the Lord with great austerity, observing all the fasts like Janmashtami and Ramanavami. She was generous in giving alms to young maidens, but she never once offered food to learned Brahmins or to the demigods. She was so attached to her wealth that she would rather let it rot than give it away. To test her, Lord Krishna disguised himself as a mendicant. He approached her door with a begging bowl, but she was filled with anger. Instead of giving him food, she scooped up a lump of mud and threw it into his bowl. When the Brahmani eventually left her mortal body, she was transported to a beautiful home in the spiritual world. It was a magnificent mansion from the outside, but inside it was completely empty. There was no furniture, no food, no gold or jewels. It was just a house of mud, a direct result of her single act of charity. Desperate and alone, she cried out to the Lord. Soon a group of celestial goddesses arrived at her door. The Brahmani, still proud, refused to let them in. "I will only open the door if you explain to me the glories of Sat-Tila Ekadasi," she declared. The goddesses smiled and explained the 6 sacred ways to use sesame seeds on this holy day: bathing in water mixed with sesame, applying a paste of sesame, offering sesame in the sacred fire, eating sesame, giving sesame in charity, and accepting sesame as a gift. Hearing this, the Brahmani finally opened her door. Following the instructions of the goddesses, she observed the Sat-Tila Ekadasi. As she did, a divine light filled her empty home. Suddenly, beautiful furniture, grains, and divine ornaments appeared everywhere. Her own material body transformed into a radiant, spiritual form, full of eternal bliss and knowledge. Lord Krishna concluded the story by saying, "One should not observe Ekadasi out of greed, but out of pure devotion. The one who lovingly donates sesame seeds, clothing, and food on this day becomes liberated from all sinful reactions and returns to the spiritual world." Palastya Muni finished his narration, his voice resonating in the quiet ashram. Therefore, one who properly observes this sacred Sat-Tila Ekadasi becomes free from all kinds of poverty, spiritual and material. They are freed from all sin, and at the end of life, they go back home, back to Godhead. And so ends the narration of the glories of Sat-Tila Ekadasi, a day of mercy, charity, and ultimate liberation. Thank you for watching. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom from the ancient scriptures.